welcome back. It's the end of a weekend. That means one thing. We get to relax and see what the countryside is like. Of course, rather than an actual long journey and having to interact with the outside world, we can just live our life vicariously through the lens of a group of children that are, well, stuck there. So, we're watching some more Non Non Biyori, and so far, it's been quite a journey. Something that has been relatable and saddening at the same time. Is today's episode going to try and pull at the heartstrings? Is summer over? We're focusing on going back to school? I have honestly no idea. Just that whatever we get, we're more than likely going to enjoy. So, grab a drink, and let's begin. Again with the cicadas. Oh? I mean, we did get a lot of rain in the last one, so are we just getting the other girls and their summer experiences? You can see one of them is definitely trying their best. She's in a world of her own. Amazing. Sometimes it's best just to smile and nod. She's having the time off of her life right there. So, is she going to be extra harsh on them in the when they actually go back to class then? Oh. Breakfast. Oh, sometimes getting out, meeting the neighbours, seeing those around you and having small conversations can lead to good things like free food. Although to some it's slightly better than it should be. I will say, since moving house and getting a little bit closer to my parents again, it's come with some benefits, such as food, maybe? But as someone who kind of likes their own time and privacy and the like, I feel like a little small community like this, where anyone is so intertwined in their lives, can just kind of pop around, invite themselves over for dinner and whatnot. Maybe I should just stop trying to be so solitary. That's why I've been missing all of these festival occasions that we don't even have here in the UK. And it is funny that we have that character here who is off in her own little world doing whatever she wants, just in the same vicinity as everyone else. Like with her dancing. You're apologising, but this is the best kind of morning for her. She doesn't see a shop there, does she? So you do one big... one big shopping trip every weekend. Oh, okay. So you've got a honesty box and everything. I mean, they got vending machines in the city, but the fact that this is so ordinary around here, and yet to those that live in the big cities, kind of odd. I'd say there's definitely not those kind of just a shed of vegetables with no one looking over it or anything. Nothing like that around here, but there's definitely honesty boxes for firewood, that kind of stuff. They are very evenly portioned bits of rice. You're big, so you get a lot. Become a giant. That is her goal right now. She was brought up well, incredibly polite. And yet it's Mogomonya. But if it's something that they do all the time, maybe she'll get used to this kind of life. And the fact that she's seeing something which seems so ordinary to them is quite an event. I saw the title of I saw the title of this episode and was imagine. What was she horrified by the idea of a tomato, or just try it before you complain or anything? And now they're all waiting for the response. I can't say that tomato is really a extravagant flavour. She's just eating cucumber on the beach. But yeah, I saw the title of this episode and was kind of expecting there'd be some sort of like swimming or beach episode, so does look like they're a kind of place that they might get some tourists and the like. Are they burying him? That's one way to keep him out of the picture. And yet you have to constantly remind her of her issues. Small. There isn't exactly a lot of opportunity around here for her to make a bunch of friends. Yeah, we've just got the just don't tell her the time frame. I mean, we know throughout history that people were a lot shorter. And how much of her character is just a complex over her height? Made even worse by someone with that kind of stature. It's not good for her mental health. It's called hide away from the real world. She's just going to walk out into the ocean. Might want to keep an eye on her. I think the answer is a lot closer than she realizes. Who exactly is fishing out here? To be reminded of her own physical shortcomings, but can she reach the buttons at the top? Is that what this is now? Jump for it. Yeah. Well, I hope that that is what they wanted to drink. Are they trying to get donations to a charity? Maybe a survey needs to be filled out. They're just looking out for the community. I did see a lanyard on one of them. Didn't expect to hear the snorkel again. I think we know who wins. And was it far close enough that they can just look over and see? Half an hour. Yeah, more than 10 minutes and there'd be some questions about where they were. As it should be. And while she was just out here enjoying herself on the beach. How irresponsible. Easy to carry, the perfect for kidnapping. Well, we saw the candy story earlier, so... And if it's anyone's fault, it's the one that's in charge of this little day. Oh, so no blame gets to put on you? Yeah, I thought so. Just get that in all their heads now. What is the crime rate around in this place? Even if she is missing and you can't see her just in eye line of the store and the vending machines, not going to get up and look for her? In case she'd been dropped. She might be losing it, but got to try everywhere. Taken and sold off to a better life, one where height isn't an issue. 130 centimeters. She was getting juice. And yet didn't take no for an answer, and even though she could just point in time with that group over there, wouldn't even allow that. Check that he's alive. Is there a pulse? It's been a crime, alright. For some of them. Aren't they missing one? Well, at least they're almost home, then they can forget about all of the trouble that they've had today. So, oh yeah, there's a bunch of... So not that there's some sort of legend or tradition of throwing oranges onto the tracks, no, it's just... There's a grove of them just over the fence. So, bring her food back, that's what she's saying there. Just doesn't want to do it herself. Don't go anywhere by yourself in case some strange men ask you. There he is. If you're lost again. I wonder how much custom a little restaurant like this would actually get. Two. How special. It's best not to think too much into it. But to be fair, I might want a chair. Perfect level of spice. You can still just scrape a little off. Is she going to do a switch? Hopefully you didn't leave the plastic lid in there as well. That would... maybe get the chair. But from only that much extra seasoning, she saw the entire thing. How much does she want to stay quiet? Maybe now she's actually regretting her actions, but is this where she gets a newly discovered love of spicy food? While her face melts off. And also the accusatory stare coming over from the corner there, which means she has to keep eating. Ringy has no idea what's going on, does she? No, did you do anything? What? It's the tears of justice being served. They didn't even get to finish eating. Daunted by the noodles. Yeah. Unfortunately, you can't take the bowls with you. Do they have a takeaway variant because of, it's a train station? Did you leave anyone on the... Well, at least one of them got on. Did you leave anyone on the platform? She'll be fine. I'm sure that's a face full of worry. She'll find her own way home. I'm sure she's not adverse to sleeping out under the stars either. Of course not. She's an invaluable figure to them. How would they forget her? I do like how it's... Oh, shit, I fell asleep. Oh, well. That's the level of worry and care you should have. Wasting ice. You see, that's a proper way to discipline children. You chase after them with is that carpet rug swatter thing? She wanted to wear something like... I see. It's all she had. Do we need the extended stare? She thought she had gotten away with it. Nice time at the beach. With no one noticing. I wonder how long it's going to be before she goes missing for real next time. I think going on long trips and days out and whatnot, getting lost was never a worry. Someone else getting lost was never a worry. I think travelling on a train, with the few times I've actually done it, missing it was never a worry. Getting on the wrong one was something I actually was concerned at slightly. But it was nice that we had some people actually doing their job, looking out for possibly some children in need. Putting over the loudspeakers the tannoy, oh, we have a lost child here, the brief description. No matter how troubling it is for their self-image. Landmines? Landmines? Landmines. And while I've probably said it several hundred times over, the beach isn't exactly one place that I am all too amused by. The sand, you see, it's coarse. And I don't have a swimsuit to really show off my figure. Still. I think the one that kind of had the best day there was just, well, apart from being prodded by the passers-by and the crowd gathering, was the fact he could just kind of rest under the warming sand. I was also kind of expecting on a day trip like that, with no sunscreen or anything, at least one of them to have some sort of burn, but no, that wasn't in the cards for today's story. But also, as someone that has a metric butt ton of chili sauces and the like downstairs, I don't think that heap of powder would really make too much difference to me. That'd probably be like the ideal spice level. You can only get so much hotness from it. It doesn't really get more just by adding more. Of course, I'm not sure where I got my perchance for liking heat, considering multiple members of my family would say that mayonnaise is too spicy. The troubles of being British sometimes. But it did make me think that with that bowl being far too hot and the train arriving, how much almost wasted food does that establishment go through? And do you think he ever gets annoyed that people order with only a few minutes left before the train arrives, knowing full well that they won't be able to finish it? Also, can we just take a second to notice that while they were out having their noodles and whatnot, the brother stayed on the platform waiting for the train. He got on the train, didn't bother to wake up the one that was sleeping next to him. Man has his priorities. Find his own seating first. I would say that he might be one of the first ones on the lifeboats when the Titanic was going down. I really don't quite know what to say with Non Biyori, because it's a calming yet energetic show at the same time. One that has these kind of flights of fancies and the moments that are both, well, relatable, no matter if you're from the countryside or the inner city. The idea of just going around someone's house to eat is a fantastic event that's unheard of back in Tokyo. To be fair, I kind of understand that. I moved in here, and in 2 months, I think I've met my neighbours about once. I do find myself a little lost, though, when talking about Non Biyori, because there's not too much overtly to think or talk about, at least not in the terms of like cinematography and camera work. Since this is predominantly just built on, he's a loose collection of events and places that the characters need to be. Go, be funny, do your thing. Very much character driven in that sense. The fact that they do all kind of have their very much simple character sheet. Who is the one thing about this character that everyone would know? She's insecure about her height and how she looks. This one just loves her classmate a bit too much. This one is in a complete world of her own. Delusional, one might say. There is a slight bit more to each of them than that, but I'm enjoying it so far. How much is each of them going to grow and come out of their own in episodes to come? And while we're 4 episodes in, and the show has made me laugh more than once. And I'm assuming it's going to be and I'm assuming it's going to do so a lot more in the future. So, hopefully you'll be there to see it. If you've enjoyed this one, let me know. If you want to leave a like and a comment down below, it helps out the channel, it helps out me, and it may do something for the industry, although I highly doubt it. If you want to make sure not to miss out, consider subscribing to get all the latest updates and releases. You can also join onto my Discord. Every now and again there's some interesting conversation. But for now, get yourselves a bit of rest. Don't waste food if you can help it. At least make sure that everything's screwed on tight before you start dumping it in. And I'll see you in the next one.